What's up, my fellow frilly folk? It is I, the Bard in Bows, and welcome to a very special story time. So I've been in this fashion for about 3 years, not counting the really horrible, terrible eat a year that I did in fact have. Let me know if you want me to document that for you. And even though at this point in time I'm pretty familiar with Lolita and the EGL community, I'm still learning. So today is a very, very special video because we are essentially solving one of the age-old problems. What do you do when you're stuck with a replica? A little context. Last year at Fanime, I was lucky enough to model for Eat Me, Ink Me, as seen here. I love that dress, by the way. I have it now. And I'd never actually been to Fanime before, and it was an amazing con. Like, I had such a fun time. I ran into a lot of my friends, and I was really surprised at the J-Fashion community and presence at the convention, which in retrospect I probably shouldn't have been, because it's in San Jose, and San Francisco was like right there. And one of the things that I was super looking forward to was the swap meet, and oh my god, it was so amazing. I ended up finding this chest story dress, which turned out to be like one of my favorite pieces. I wore it for my birthday that year, and yeah, it's definitely become one of my staples. It's also very, very comfortable. But I bought another dress at Fanime. So this is gonna be kind of a learning moment for any of you who are new to Lolita. Always check your tags. So the day of the swap meet, I'm in this big line. I'm like halfway down, and I'm super, super excited. I've been looking forward to this all weekend. I've got cash in hand. I'm ready to spend. So I go into this big, empty, like warehouse canvas thing. It reminds me of like a legitimate like swap meet, like a flea market type, because everyone is like sitting on the ground. They've got all their stuff like on blankets and all neatly folded, and I was not wearing my glasses at the time, so I'm like, okay, basic shapes and colors. If you see a ruffle, go. I was just strictly looking for Lolita stuff. So I was walking down with a friend of mine who was like helping me scout out for pieces, and I caught sight of a print. It was a print that I recognized in a color that I loved. It was the print for Fantastic Dolly, and oh my god, I lost my shit. I just like beelined for this girl's like setup, and I picked it up, and it was actually a pretty like thick like cotton. Like, it had weight to it. It wasn't polyester, it wasn't satin or anything. Like, it felt like real. And I also noticed that it had like full shirring in the back, so it would fit me no problem. It looked really comfortable. I started asking the girl, like, where did you get this? How did you get this? And she goes, oh, my friend gave it to me. I'm not really into it, so I'm selling it. And I was like, well, what are you selling it for? And she goes, oh, $30. I'm like, ha! Now this is the part of the story where I let my little magpie brain override my common sense. Because whether you know Lolita or not, you should be aware that no one is going to sell an angelic pretty dress for $30. And I should have listened to that little tiny voice in my head, but I was so excited that I just gave her $30 and ran. So here's the thing. I am a classic Lolita, more or less. Like, I have some sweet stuff, I have a good number of gothic stuff, but I consider myself to be more classic. So I'm not super familiar with angelic pretty, and I definitely was not super familiar with it then. All I saw in my head, AP print will fit me, done. I should have checked the tag, I should have like verified that it was that brand. Check your tags at swap meets, guys. So I brought it home, and I was so excited. I was like telling everyone I passed. I was like, I got Fantastic Dolly! Brought it back to the hotel room, and it's funny, I didn't actually know the name of the print. I just recognized the print, and I actually really, really liked it. So I posted a picture. I was like, hey guys, what's the name of this print? And they were like, oh, it's Fantastic Dolly, but the bodice looks different. I was like, oh, is it like a special set? And they were like, no, and I flipped it inside out, and lo and behold, this was the tag. I had bought a replica, and it was nobody's fault but mine. I thought about possibly going back to the girl and like getting my money back, but I was like, you know, it's really my fault. Like, I should have known better. I should have checked the tags. I should have not been so excitable. So I was like, all right, okay, I'll take it home with me and I'll sell it. I'll figure out what to do with it. Turns out I can't sell replicas on Lace Market. That was something that, again, I should have known, and I didn't.
But I did end up finding someone who would take it, and I was selling it for like $11. But the problem is that she was definitely like on the other side of the world.
So the shipping was like way more expensive than the actual dress, and on top of that, I had to fill out like a customs form, and so I sent it off. I was like, okay, that's it, like, we're gone, we can move on. Or so I thought. Because about a month later, it got returned. For some reason. So I am stuck with this replica dress that I can't wear and I can't sell because I am not wearing a replica to a meet. I've worn it once. I worn it to Disneyland when I went to Star Wars Land for the first time. I'll at least get my money's worth out of it. And I was thinking, like, okay, I've worn it once, like, let's just throw it out, let's just get rid of it. You know, whatever. Tried to give it away, no one would take it. My work had this thing where all the girls that worked there would actually bring their clothes in that they were thinking of donating, and your coworkers could like go through your stuff and like they could take home whatever they wanted, and then you could send stuff to the thrift store. And I was like, okay, like, let's see if anybody else, like, no one, I don't really work with any Lolitas, but it was like, well, they might like the dress, they might think it's cute. And no one took it. So again, still stuck with this dress. And then my work released the Coca-Cola collection. So I worked at Unique Vintage for a while. Which is, by the way, a great place for plus-size blouses if you are in need of one. Highly, highly recommend. Every so often we would do these novelty collections, and one of them that month was Coca-Cola. Now, I'm not a huge Coca-Cola drinker, but the collection was so fucking cute. In particular, this like adorable like crop tie. It's so f***ing cute, and I was like, it matches the replica. So I ended up deciding, okay, I'm gonna at least take pictures of this coordinate so that if I do ever get my hands on the real Fantastic Dolly, I'll know how I'm gonna cord it. So I held on to the replica and I put this on top of it because really the only thing that's super, super different is the lace is really limp. It doesn't have the same bodice. It has a very, very different bodice. So when I wear this, like, no one can really tell unless you look really closely. So I was thinking, okay, I'll just keep it, like, but what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna wear it to? Maybe I'll wear it to like a horrible, like, wear your garbage Lolita coordinate meet. But I can't bring myself to wear a replica to a meet. I'm too ashamed! And then I got sort of an idea. I thought, well, I can't keep it, can't sell it, I ain't gonna wear it. Let's just destroy it. So what we're gonna do, I'm wearing the dress, and I took a bunch of water balloons and I filled them with this non-toxic paint, and I'm gonna have my neighbors throw it at me. Safety first, y'all.
I'm recording.
All right.
Yeah. Red dot means recording, right?
All right, yep. Let's do it!
That was fun.
Peace! So I'm pretty sure the other neighbors that we have probably think I'm crazy at this point, which is fine. When you're the crazy lady, like, nobody bugs you.